Welcome to Abracadabra TV. The magic is here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this amazing event that I am so happy to be a part of. I hope that today this can be a small break so that you can really come home to your body as we end this wild year and move into a brand new year. And of course, we can have a new beginning any time of day, so we don't have to put pressure on ourselves. But we can come here together to set our intentions, to reflect on how much we've grown. And like I said, to really come home to our body, come home to our magic, come home to how much we've learned this year about love, gratitude, and all that we have in our lives. So my name's Aarona Lea. I'm the author and head witch of the Moon Deck, which is an oracle deck that we will be diving into today for a group oracle reading. And we'll be focusing on body, heart, mind, spirit with today's reading. Before we do, let's come together and vigorously rub our palms together to build some heat. And my dear friends, Aya and Tyler just gave us such a beautiful sound healing show. So really sink into that medicine. Bring that medicine with you into this practice with me today. Keep rubbing the palms together vigorously. Take a huge inhale. Hold the breath in. Out of the mouth, empty it out. Once more, huge inhale. Hold the breath in. Out of the mouth, empty it out. Once more, deep, deep inhale. Hold the breath in, increase your capacity to receive. Keep rubbing the hands together. Out of the mouth, empty it out completely. And then press your palms together at your heart center. Really feel the thumbs nestle right into the upper sternum. Rise up through the heart, gently bow your chin in, and take this moment to have a sacred pause. A sacred pause with all the beautiful music we've been hearing and celebrating life to. A sacred pause in the sound healing we just moved through with Aya and Tyler. And a sacred pause in this present moment, because it is in this present moment where we have the power and ability to design our future. So dropping into this moment with whatever it happens to be showing you, dropping into this moment with all that is coming to the surface, with all that is being revealed, and training ourselves, strengthening ourselves, in expanding our capacity to be with all that is revealed, so that in this present moment we can expand and, like I said, design what comes next. Using this time to innovate new ways of being, new ways of connecting, new ways of creating. Take 3 more deep breaths here, and really taking this moment to connect to your core intention for being here today. And considering all of the form and structure we have built in our lives, some of which is perhaps shifting or crumbling. But within that structure that we've built, we want things to shift so that it no longer stops the flow, so that we create a structure that holds us and creates space for flow and creates space for our highest vibrational alignment to expand into this moment, to increase our capacity to love, both giving and receiving love. Take another deep breath in and a full breath out. And then taking one hand to your heart, one hand to your navel, and let your entire being come into this moment so that you're fully occupying your body. You're fully occupying the space of this moment. So I will ask that you have a journal with you today. If you have something to write with nearby, go ahead and grab it, grab paper. You'll probably want to write some notes down. And I've discovered that when I'm sitting in spaces like this with others, I always like to have my journal so that I can write down some of my aha moments or quotes or insights that really strike a chord, because then I can go back to that and deepen the insights or even use it for a creation down the road, which is what I did when I created the Oracle deck, the Moon deck. I'll also ask you some questions and some prompts that can help you reflect on this past year and the year that is to come. So write them down so that after we're done, you can spend more time on them. One thing I want to keep in mind is that I'm not a huge advocate of putting too much pressure on ourselves at the end of the year or the beginning of the new year, because every month we have a new moon. Several times a year we have the solstice or the equinox, and every day is a new day. So just keep in mind that there is no needed pressure here. And we just moved through a full moon in Cancer, and the energy of this moon is very motherly. It's very much about self-care and self-love, nurturing yourself and allowing stillness to heal and reveal. So if you're feeling that way, let that way flow through you. This is a time for love and care of ourselves. And the more we can show up in self-love and self-care, the more we're able to show up in that love and care for others and for the planet. And I think one of the great teachings of this past year is really that when we take care of ourselves, we are in turn taking care of others. So I just want to give you permission, and of course for yourself to give you permission to really land exactly as you are with this full moon, with the closing of an intense, massive year, moving into another year, no expectations. The rule in magic is that we set an intention with clarity, with sincerity. We set this intention with clarity and sincerity, but then we let go. Because in magic, we always have to leave a little room for the surprise. When we're making art, we always want to leave room for the surprise. So yes, we show up in fullness. We set clear intentions. We're devoted to our practices. And then we allow some breathing room. We allow the divine flow to also have a say. And so when I set these intentions, oftentimes at the end, I might say, may it be this or something better for the good of all. May it be so. That way we're showing up and we're leaving space for the mystery. All right, so feel free to drop into the comments as well. And I'm going to weave the questions into the reading. So really set up your space as best as you can so there's no distractions. Have your journal, tune in, and I want to encourage you to be all here. It's rare that we carve out an hour of time to just focus on our intentions. And I promise you, when you feed these intentions and you feed your practices around self-care, around self-love, ritualizing emotional, mental, spiritual health, there are so many gifts on the other side of that devoted practice. And it's tricky to carve that time out, so we're here carving the time out. And so I'm just giving you a little extra nudge to really be here, because that is where the potency can take place in these reflections and these intentions. So go ahead, and you're welcome to light a candle, have a hot cup of tea, all that you need. So this is the Moon deck, just so you get a glimpse of it. And this is the deck we'll be using today. I'm the co-creator and author of it. And if decks are new to you, just know that they are simply a tool. All of these things are tools. Imagine all the tools were taken away and we're just left with what's at our core. We're using these tools to strengthen and brighten and clarify our core, so that with or without the tools, we have a connection to this core. And that's a practice, and I'm right alongside you practicing this. This is a tool to help us connect to our spirit guides, to help us develop and strengthen and more deeply trust our intuition, to gain new perspective on things going on within our inner world or in the world around us. So you have space here to translate the reading based on your own experience while being open, because we're here as a community. even though it's virtual, I really believe that there's an alchemy being formed by the community that is present today. So let us drop into this alchemy, and in that buzz of the alchemy, there's so much potential for a lot of magic, clarity, connection to unfold. And we are here to connect. We are here to fully embrace our humanness. And in the embrace of our humanness, there's beautiful and ugly sides of it. There's the masculine and feminine and everything in between. There's cycles and seasons. There's ebb and flow. There's shadow and light and every shade in between. And this work gives us permission to truly be a human in all of these shades. And we know that some of the greatest music, some of the greatest poetry, some of the greatest teachers, the greatest art, the greatest companions come through this ebb and flow of shadow and light, and having a willingness to be curious, to be teachable, to be present through that journey. There's a ton of power when we move through that. And I think we've probably all learned that in the year of 2020. There's been loss, there's been grief, there's been deep surrender, and there's also been a light shined on all that we have and what's truly important to us, and has very possibly for most of us made us ask some necessary, perhaps difficult questions. So in this space together, we can celebrate this journey of being human and all the many facets that being a human carry, and enjoying the journey to the best of our ability. All right, so I'm going to shuffle the cards, and as I do, I want you to really connect to your breath. Feel your in-breath. Notice how your inhale is a little cooler, and your exhale as it leaves the body is a little warmer. How attuned to the life force of your breath, to the rhythm of your breath can you become? And in this presence, the world expands. When we get really present, our ability to feel, to see, to hear and listen expands. And in that expansion, we become more connected to one another. We become more connected to our spirit guides, the guidance, the unseen guidance around us. And we become more attuned to our inner compass, to our inner oracle, to our intuition, so that we can trust it and be led by it, even if it's not always rational. Deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Okay. So we're going to pick 4 cards. One is representing body, the physical body. The next is representing the heart and the emotional body. The third card will represent the mind, the mental body. And the fourth card will represent the spiritual body. And I'll show them to you. And I really believe that when I pick cards in settings like this, where it's not a one-on-one, but it's a group, that these cards are so divinely timed. And again, they alchemize with you, with the group that is here. So open up your capacity to trust that these cards are the perfect message for you today. Starting with the physical body. I am on the right path and divinely guided. I am on the right path and divinely guided. I am on the right path and divinely guided. So I often say to repeat these mantras 3 times in a row to invoke its greatest power. So you say this, you can say it internally or out loud 3 times in a row, and feel free to write it in the comments so that everyone can see it. I am on the right path and divinely guided. Say that 3 times and really feel and fully believe the words. Even if you're not feeling guided today, see if you can connect to that spark within you that knows and trusts that it is guided. We all have that spark. That spark is what made us show up here today. That spark is what helps us to show up and take care of ourselves, even if it's the teeniest, tiniest, smallest self-care step. That is the spark that we are expanding here with this card. So again, I am on the right path and divinely guided. How does this make you feel? You can write this quote in your journal. I am on the right path and divinely guided. And because we got this card as the body, the physical body card, this is telling us to trust the wisdom of our body. Trust the wisdom in your bones. We don't need to keep looking outside of ourselves for the answer. Yes, sometimes we need external support and guidance, but this card being chosen in the body part, this card is the physical card for this reading today, and it's saying to trust the wisdom in your bones, to trust your inner compass, to trust the sensations that are arising in your body. And when you start to trust what arises in your body, you start to validate the wisdom of your body. And this in turn creates a massive dose of medicine towards our self-worth, towards our self-love, towards our confidence. So just looking within, do you trust your body? And can you pivot a little bit to bring this mantra into your body, into your breath on a cellular level? I am on the right path and divinely guided. If you were to fully trust the path before you, if you were to fully trust the way that your body wants to move in the world, how would life feel? How would life look? And so I want to add a prompt in reflection of 2020 with this card, and you can write this down. In this past year, how did you receive love? And how did you give love? From your heart, from the internal body, how did you receive love? How did you give love? And you can focus this on a self-love level. Perhaps it's how you gave and received love within yourself. It could be with the people in your life, whether that was a virtual or in-person connection, but really connecting that to that for a moment. How did love show up in the realm of your body? How did it feel when your heart was lit up? I am on the right path and divinely guided. And how does love open us up to this mantra? Deep trust opens up a gateway for deep love. And so it has to start with trusting ourselves. If self-doubt is something you've wrestled with this past year, you've been questioning your path, questioning your worth, questioning where you're going, then this card, just saying this mantra, can really light this place up and be like a superfood, a dose of nutrients to this aspect of self-love. I am on the right path and divinely guided. And so with this card, one more thing before we move to the next card, I want you to really pay attention over the next few days as we move into the new year of how signs and symbols show up in your life. Not only is this the physical body card because we got it in representation of the body in today's reading, but this card also points to how guidance shows up in our life around us. I call that expanded intuition. So we have embodied intuition, how the wisdom of our body speaks to us. And then we have expanded intuition, which is how signs, symbols, synchronicities, evidence that we're on the right path show up around us. An example for me is when I'm walking around and I see a feather on my path, I know I'm going the right way. It feels like a little wink from the universe. It feels like a little omen. And so just consider what signs and symbols you give meaning to. And if it carries meaning to you, it has meaning. That's all you need. You don't have to learn it in a book. You don't have to learn it from a teacher. If signs and symbols show up in your life to remind you of a message or to remind you that you're on the right path and divinely guided, as long as it carries meaning for you in that moment, that is all the evidence you need to know that it is meaningful, and you can take that with you as you strengthen, develop, and expand your intuition and your practice of embodied self-love. So once again, I am on the right path and divinely guided. Take in that card, take in the image, feel those words in your body. And see if you can feel those words in the same way that you would be feeling all the music that you're moving to or taking in during this Abracadabra event. Feeling those words in the same way, so that we also then start to take ownership for the words we're thinking in our own mind and the words we're speaking out loud, because the words we speak out loud are like a spell. So if we're fixating on worry and fear, which we're allowed to have worry and fear, we're human, but if we're fixating on it and that's the words that are spiraling in our head and out of our mouth, then we are casting those spells over and over again. So part of the practice of being here with you and you with me and over the next couple days is to really pay attention to the essence of the words you're thinking and speaking. Even if you can't change it overnight, just paying attention to it will give you a lot of power to begin to shift it and shape it in a direction that is truly a practice of self-love that then nurtures and expands and feeds your magic and the magic you have for being in the world during this amazing era we're here together for. I believe for, that it's divinely aligned that we are here during these times. The second card that we got is resistance. I meet resistance with kindness. So say that mantra 3 times in a row. I meet resistance with kindness. This card is representing the heart and the emotional body. Remember, we're doing 4 cards to represent the physical, and here we are in the emotional and heart body. I meet resistance with kindness. And just consider for yourself what this mantra means for you in relationship to the emotional or heart body. I meet resistance with kindness. To me, this card is bringing up the fact that sometimes we will meet resistance when expanding our heart space, when letting more love in, when sharing more love, when meeting our walls that might be protecting us from deeper vulnerability or deeper intimacy. This is a time that we're in where we get to choose. Do we lock ourselves up and hide under the covers? Or do we open ourselves up to what is possible in today's day and age as things are now? We don't have to wish for things to be like they were. We can be in this present moment, because in this moment is where we get to design the future. Yes, we can feel the grief, the loss, the fear. We can feel all of that. That is all allowed here, the resistance. And how can we step into the now, feeling all of these feelings, feeling the resistance to opening up our capacity, but meeting this resistance with kindness and not judgment. Meeting this resistance with surrender and breath instead of criticism. So if you are someone who is hypercritical or judgmental towards yourself or towards others or towards situations, I'm here to remind you to check it, to take a breath into it, to very honestly check it, right? Sometimes we have to be really, really honest with ourselves about where are we putting our energy? What are we truly devoting our energy to? We're all devoted to something, whether it's shadow, light, or everything in between, whether it's habits that feed us or diminish us, whether it's thought forms that feed us or diminish us. We're all devoting our focus and energy to something. So this card is a reminder, and this area of the body, the emotional and heart-centered body, a reminder to do some writing today, do some reflecting and some meditating today, or walk around if you want to move while you contemplate on what are you truly devoted to? How honest with yourself can you be with that question? What have you been devoted to in 2020? Where have you put your energy? And what do you want to put your energy towards? Where do you want to be devoted towards in 2021? And I'm not seeing 2020 as some hard stop and 2021 as some, there's water. The divine feminine flow of water is present with us. There is a thread between past, present, and future. So we don't have to sever anything, but can we take what we've learned with an honest lens, and in that honesty create space for deep healing and surrender, and then be empowered by what we discover and integrate the pieces of what we discover. Because once we're integrated and we've moved through that resistance, we can create empires with it. We can create art with it. We can create music. We can create a deck. Creation comes once we've integrated the deep teachings, the lessons, the hardships, the challenges. But if we're not willing to look at it, it's going to fester. So we don't want to bypass it. We don't want to sweep it under the rug. Sometimes we need support to do the deep work, but just making space to sit with what is. I meet resistance with kindness, and keeping in mind that when resistance shows up, it's oftentimes a sign that we're actually going in the right direction. It's oftentimes a sign, because sometimes we want to give up when a lot of resistance shows up, but that is actually the time not to give up. That is actually a clue that you are on the right track. This is the time when resistance shows up, when we're expanding our heart, when we're expanding our capacity, our emotional body, when we're choosing emotional health. Remember, this is the card for heart and emotional body. That's why I'm focusing on that. This is the time to expand to that, to meet that resistance with kindness, and to let it incubate so that it can then integrate into our being and be turned into something valuable. I meet resistance with kindness. So definitely take some time today to reflect on that card for yourself. There you go. All right. Let me see if there's any other questions I want to add to that. I meet resistance with kindness. I think that's solid. I think we're going to stop there. And if anyone wants to add anything in the comments, reflections with that, please do. One more thing I do want to say with that actually is this era we're in, whether you are, being challenged in your professional life, in your family life, in your relationships to yourself or others, in your health, in your place in the world, this is a time, the way 2020 has gone down and where we're headed, some of us are either going to be resistant to it or resilient. Now, meet your resistance with love and kindness. It's okay if resistance shows up. However, we want to get to a place where we're resilient. Times like this really kind of reveals who's going to get stuck in the resistance and who's going to thrive in the resilience. So I'm here to again encourage you to step towards the resilience, to be in your practices that helps you cultivate more resilience and more wisdom, and being willing to pivot with the times, to innovate and create with the times. And that is a sure way to really make our contribution collectively and to thrive individually. And this is why self-love and self-care is so monumental, and why I love that Abracadabra brought this theme into this festival, because imagine a planet where everyone truly, truly, truly is in deep love and acceptance of themselves. We would see a very different planet. So by us doing this for ourselves individually, we learn how to then show up in this way for others, and that ripples out like a vibration into the collective. So moving into the mental body card. This is the mental body. My dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. Make sure you write that one down. My dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. My dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. This card is the mental body card. This card is all about being a midwife to our dreams, being the carrier of our dreams. And this could be in our sleep time when we have dreams. And this is also about our daydreams during the daytime. What dreams are we breathing life into? And because this is the mental card, right? This card represents the mind body, the mental body. This is encouraging us to really take time in this transitional moment we're in, to really take time to think about our dreams, to feel into our dreams. And when you write these dreams down, if 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 it doesn't really nurture you and feed you, scratch it off the list. When you do this work around your dreams, especially in this transitional period we're in a full moon in Cancer, the last full moon of the year. This particular full moon is all about the mother energy, nurturing, nourishing, being restful. In 2 weeks, we'll have the new moon. We're transitioning from a massive year into a whole new year that is perhaps filled with more mystery and uncertainty. We don't really know what's coming, but we've all grown so much. So in honoring our growth, we can now look to our dreams. We can now look to what we are designing for our future with more sophistication, with more maturity, with more growth, with more clarity on our deepest intentions and longings. And so as you think about, because this is the card for the mental body, as you use the power of your great mind to create what is to come and to feed and nurture your greatest dreams, be sure that they are yours. Be sure that they're not somebody else's dream or somebody else's should or should not. Be really, really, really clear about that. And the way that you can be clear about that is coming back to the body card. I am on the right path and divinely guided, trusting the wisdom of your bones. So as you write about your dreams and take time to meditate and contemplate your dreams, close your eyes after each one. Get quiet for a moment and feel the resonance of that dream in your body. Feel whether there's a resounding yes in your body or a no or an unsure, an uncertainty. And for right now, for the sake of this particular writing ritual that you'll do in your own time, go with the resounding yeses in your body when you focus on your dreams. Again, you want them to make sure they're your dreams, not somebody else's dream for you, not somebody else's dream of what they hope to have been and now are putting that on you, but to really focus and reclaim it if you have to reclaim it, on what your personal dreams are. This could be your dream for your health, your dream for your body, your dream for your relationships, your dreams around your creativity or your career, your dreams for the planet collectively. Really, the sky is the limit. And you're welcome to, in the comments, mention what those dreams are for you. So again, the mantra here: my dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. What does this card say to you? And remembering that you are the doula for your dreams, and really bringing our dreams to life does take courage sometimes. It takes us believing in ourselves. It takes us trusting that creative muse that wants to move through us and into the world. So that's for the mental card, the mental body card. And then moving into the spirit body. This is the meditation card. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. Say this mantra 3 times in a row to invoke its greatest power. And it's so nice we got this card, because I started today's time together by saying, let us come home to our body. And this is our final card that's also inviting us to come home to our body. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. So this is our 4th card representing the spirit body. Taking in that image. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. What would it feel like to you? And some of you might already be here, by the way. If you are someone who already feels deep peace in your system and you're at home in your body, what a beautiful medicinal conduit to the rest of us you are. Because it is true that we want to learn how to self-regulate, but our nervous systems are bouncing off of each other all the time. So when we're in a centered space, which can ebb and flow, right? We'll have our good days and our bad days, but when we're in a centered space and we're really cultivating these practices around self-love, around stronger intuition, around self-care, around less judgment, less criticism, more curiosity, more connection. When we're in that space, our nervous system responds to that. And then the nervous systems of those around us respond to that. We are kind of ping-ponging off each other all the time. This is why I say that when we practice self-love and we're in that space, this has a collective vibrational impact. So if there's a lot of fear being pumped into the world, that's going to have an impact on our nervous system. And then we have an impact on one another. So those of us who do have these tools can really foster and cultivate that deeper connection so that we can start to penetrate the collective with a more stable, more connected, more creative, more curious system. So again, this is the card of the spirit body. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. This card asks of you that you no longer be a stranger to yourself, that you no longer be a stranger to your spirit or your spiritual connection, however you translate that. I believe when it comes to our spiritual connection that there are many paths, many names. It's the unnameable one, right? The unnameable way. Whatever words you want to attribute to that spiritual connection, energetic connection, is truly up to you. Find what that is for yourself. However, this card asks that you sit with it. This is the meditation card. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. So it's asking that you sit daily right now. Today, tomorrow, for the next few days, sit for 5 minutes in meditation. Sit for 20 if you can. But if all you can do is 3 minutes to just sit still, pause, light a candle, breathe, connect to yourself without the distractions of the world, without the distractions of your digital devices, this is worth gold right now. To pause in the sacredness of your being, of your spirit, of the journey of this past year as we transition into a new year, and be with what is present for you. Being with it, think of all that is being revealed and all that is present for you as a palette of beautiful texture and beautiful color, and we get to create with it. But we can only truly create with it consciously if we're able to see it clearly, feel it clearly, and as I said earlier, let it integrate into our being so that we can be on the other side of it in a way that values growth and expansion. I am at home in my body. I am at peace in my spirit. To truly feel at home in your own skin. To truly feel at home in your own voice. To truly feel at home with your intuition, in your heart, in your core, in the world, in your community. For many of us, we have to practice this, practice coming home to ourselves, practice settling into our body, into our skin with ease, with trust, with breath, and then inviting that piece of our spirit in. So I'm going to review our 4 cards once again. Feel free to write any of them down so that you can reflect on these later. The card representing the physical body is, I am on the right path and divinely guided. I am on the right path and divinely guided. I am on the right path and divinely guided. Saying this statement, saying this affirmation with sincerity, it's the sincerity that carries the power. And it's an ownership that our words are like spells. We're casting energy. We're casting possibility with our words. I am on the right path and divinely guided, representing the physical body card. Representing the heart, the emotional body card, I meet resistance with kindness. I meet resistance with kindness. I meet resistance with kindness. Feeding our hearts, bringing ritual into our emotional well-being, meeting resistance with love, with breath, with kindness, knowing that when resistance shows up, it's oftentimes a sign that we're about to have a breakthrough, staying with it. And this is the time when resistance shows up that our practices and our rituals become even more important. Representing the mental body is the dream card. My dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. My dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. Once more, my dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. Truly believing in your dreams. Do some dream weaving. Dream weaving means you sit down, you look at the categories of your life, relationships, wealth and money, your career, your creative projects, relationship to self and others, your health, your home, your spiritual, mental, emotional health, whatever categories are most important to you right now, write them out on a piece of paper, date the paper so you can reflect on this, and then really clearly writing in first person present tense, write out little paragraphs for each category, what your dream is moving forward, nurtured by all that you've discovered from this past year. And knowing that these are meant to be your dreams and your dreams alone. So after you write the dreams, you'll reread them, close the eyes, and sit with it, and really, in a very honest way, discover, is this your dream or someone else's? And only leaving room for your dreams in this exercise, even if you have to cross some things out. Get really clear on what's yours. And then welcoming the courage and the clarity that is required for you to start taking steps or continue taking steps towards really shaping and designing these dreams moving forward. My dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. And then our final card is the spirit body, the meditation card. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. I am at home in my body, at peace in my spirit. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. Say that mantra, write this down. And this could be your daily mantra. If any of these mantras really helped you to soften and settle into your being, use this throughout the day. This is yours to keep now. Say this to yourself. Let these mantras flood out any negative mantras, any negative worrisome affirmations, because those are still affirmations and we just want to flip them. We just want to shift the words, shift the energy so that we are moving towards what lights us up, so that we're moving towards strengthening our magic, strengthening our intuition, that we're moving towards opening up more intimately, more vulnerably with one another, with the world, with this life, with this experience of being human, so that we can create from that place and trust this space, both individually and collectively. Again, this is representing the spirit body. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. And asking yourself this question: what did you do this past year in 2020 to feed your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spirit body? And what will you continue or add moving into 2021? What can you add to your practices? And this could be so small. This could be with me right now. A physical practice can be right now internally, quietly softening and receiving more. This could be dropping from your head into your feet or into your heart that's a ritual, that's a practice. It's very subtle. No one even has to know you're doing it internally. And I promise you, if you practice this internally, this practice of presence, it will start to trickle into other areas of your life, into your relationships that you care about the most, into your creative projects, into your downloads. When you're sitting and you want to download something creatively, that practice of presence will open the pathway for these creative insights to move through you. I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. Those are our 4 cards for today, representing the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spirit body. And as we bring these concepts together collectively, we can start to move forward feeling truly whole, feeling truly connected. And take these next couple days to honor wherever your energy is. If you feel like you need more connection with others versus being quiet and alone, please honor the space that feels most honest and true for you. This is a time to really listen to what is wanting to come to the surface, to make space for what wants to show up, and then to use your writing, to use your journal, to do a brain dump, get it out of your head and onto paper. How are you nurturing and feeding your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spirit body? That's one of your questions. And then really looking at what are you leaving behind in 2020, right? Probably something you really grew through. Where was your greatest growth last year? And what are you not even leaving behind? I don't even love that statement, but what are you growing out of so that it can be integrated and transformed? And what are you bringing with you in 2021? What parts of yourself do you really admire and appreciate and have gratitude for how much you've grown? And how do you want to see it develop in 2021? Who do you want to be by the end of the year 2021? Do you want to be more loving and more available? Do you want to be more purposeful and more confident? Do you want to be softer and more surrendered? Do you want to be more creative and more focused? Really considering for yourself what carries greatest meaning. And as I said, feeling into your own body temple of where it feels like a resounding yes, where you feel expanded, and following that current. So I'm going to read you a poem, really a prayer, that I personally downloaded from my spirit guides, my creative muse. And if that is new verbiage to you, again, you can really translate it in a way that feels like it's home for you. You can call it your higher self. You can call it your intuition. You can call it the loving intelligence that moves through all things. You can call it spirit, great spirit, oneness, whatever is your name for it. I personally don't think that we should get so caught up in the words, instead feeling into what that is for you. So here it is. This is my offering to you as we close. Are you willing to trust your divine order? Are you open to saying the words, I align with whatever is in your will, divine order? For the good of all, may it be so. This is nothing more than a humble bow to that clear, pure power of love that runs through us all and through all things. It is not giving away our power to some higher force, but instead it is allowing this holy alchemy, like a collaboration, to flow through our life with a deep presence, a place where shame dies and curiosity is born, dancing between the tensions of surrender and strength, trusting the divine unnamed, the unnameable one to be with us, simultaneously casting our circle of shadow and light intertwined like a beautiful braid, present to the power of will we each carry within us, the toggle of choices, the aligned stars that were in place when we were born, the sparked charge of potential transformation when the practice of forgiveness arrives, I let go into you. I believe in you. I trust the guidance you grant me with plenty of evidence and trails of clues that subdue fear when I truly pause, listen, and take you in. Please, dear one, who morphs and shapes itself around paths that are now opening to me, hold me in your embrace as I embark to live this life for as long as you shall have me. Thank you, divine order, unnameable one. You are many, and I am nothing and everything all at once, like a storm that lasts for days until it suddenly disappears, like a blazing fire that rips apart the old and paves the new, like a roaring rapids, waves, and waters that breathe life while swallowing our irresponsible ways dry, like the deep soils and earth-covered bodies that shake with tender fierceness, like the winds that speak ancient tongue, passing messages down from one generation to the next, like our breath that both gives life and takes life. I bow to you. I am made of you. I am ready and available to this great love. That is just a prayer that I opened up to, and I recommend doing, if this resonates, a writing practice early in the morning. When you first wake up, light a candle, sit for a moment, have your journal or whatever it is you like to write in, and just let it pour out. That is actually the ritual for the dream card, to write right upon awakening. And if for some reason for you, writing in the evening or the afternoon is a better time for this work, I want you to trust your body, the message of your body, and pick your special window of time where you can just sit, light a candle, and do some writing. No one is grading it. Don't edit it. Don't filter it. Just let it pour out. Trust what wants to be put on paper, and let this be a ritual practice for you to embrace and honor your physical body. I am divinely guided on the right path. Your emotional body, I meet resistance with kindness. The mental body, my dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. And your spirit body, I am at home in my body and at peace in my spirit. And once you do this writing practice, perhaps you continue it for the next 2 weeks until the new moon, which is a perfect time to sit with your intentions and refine them. The new moon is a time to plant seeds or water the seeds that we've already planted. And just taking this time in the next couple days and through the next week to truly show up for yourself, to truly honor your growth, to be with all that you're grateful for. So many people say that last year's is less about what we thought we wanted and more about becoming aware of all that we have. And in that place of really embracing what we have and coming from a place of love and gratitude, so much more becomes available to us. And it's a journey. We have to go through the ebb and flow, through the seasons of life, exploring our shadows, our light, and everything in between, and meeting it all as best as we can with the vibration of love, and embracing our human experience and trusting that we are here during this wild era for a reason. There's an alchemy with all of those currently on the planet, and we truly have power in our hands to become deeply present to all that is here so that we can collectively design a beautiful future that has plenty for all of us, that is filled with self-love, that is truly embracing and trusting the wisdom deep in our bones of our ancestors, of those who perhaps we can't see but are here to guide us. So much love to all of you. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Again, my name is Aarona Lea, and I am the author and co-creator of the Moon Deck. We have many new projects coming. I also offer a 9-week intuitive oracle training, which will be happening in the new year, as well as some other workshops focusing on self-love, emotional and spiritual well-being, ritual, boundaries, working with oracle cards, being in these practices that I've spoken of today. So please get in touch. You can find me on Instagram at _moondeck or aarona.lea, AARONA.LEA, or you can find our websites, aaronalea.com or themoondeck.com. And I thank you so much to Blondish and to Abracadabra for having me and all of these amazing artists today. I feel really honored to be a part of this lineup and a part of this experience as we exit a wild year and move into a mysterious year. Let's see what's happening, what's to come. Let's stay in our bodies and in our breath and in our hearts. Much love to all of you. Have a beautiful day.
Welcome to Abracadabra TV.
Live exclusively on Twitch.